Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Gamescade. So last week we had the first gameplay reveal of the Dragonball Project Z game. Even then, it wasn't even gameplay, it was more of like a cinematic trailer using the in-game engine of what it's going to look like. And I didn't really give constructive thoughts in that video. It was more of like, I was so excited by the announcement and the gameplay that I was not really talking about the game itself. So I felt like I should take the time in this video to sort of give my thoughts, first of all, on the game now that I've had time to process it, what I think the mechanics are going to be, what I think it's going to be like, and what it's shaping up to be. So let's start. So Project Z, first of all, graphically looks fantastic. I mean, this is exactly the TARP type of art style I like to see in an open world anime like action RPG, right? Where you see Goku walking through the fields, first of all, and it just looks awesome. They didn't show how you can traverse. I would love again if like you just do like crazy high jumps, you do your flying in the air, and maybe again over time through the game you can almost upgrade your stamina of how long you can fly. Like maybe in the beginning you can only like jump high, and then as you play the game, like you could start flying more and flying more distances. So I feel like that could be a really cool mechanic. But yeah, the art style, man, when you see how it looks just in cutscene, which is the in-game engine, it looks fucking insane. And I don't know how that translates to gameplay, because again, nothing we saw was UI or gameplay or anything, but if it looks like that when you're in action, this could be something really special. Now, they've said that the game is basically the story of Z, right? It is a retelling of the story of Z, and I think actually that's really important because, first of all, that's how you bring in the largest audience, right? The largest amount of people that know about Dragon Ball. It's kind of like when you talk about Pokemon, right? Gen 1 Pokemon is the, no matter what, will always be the biggest and drawn the most people. Just like Dragon Ball Z, that main middle show is the biggest part of the show that everyone has nostalgia for and knows, right? We're not at a point yet where Dragon Ball Super is nostalgic, or Dragon Ball is nostalgic, but it's a different niche, and GT is just its own other thing I'm not gonna get into here. So I think going with the story of Z was a very smart choice, and I think focusing it on Goku, right? Goku's perspective, and maybe again, it's not clear if it's only gonna be Goku, because it says join Goku and the other Z warriors as they go through stuff. So I'm assuming you're mainly gonna be playing as Goku, which again, I know a lot of people love the other characters, but I do think there is a value in kind of getting a clear, concise story of Goku's perspective throughout all this, right? Because in the anime, there's a shit ton of episodes where Goku's not there. Like a lot of times they build up to Goku, where it was like it wouldn't be Goku for a while because Goku was the trump card, right? So now playing the game as Goku, I feel like that way we cut the fat, we trim the bullshit filler moments, and we stick it to specifically Goku, right? So I think that's a very smart call on their part. Now, in terms of gameplay, right? So this is supposed to be a sort of open world, not open world as, but like open world, where clearly we're going to be going to Namek, obviously, for the Frieza arc and Earth. So I assume also King Kai's planet is in there. So I assume we're going to have different locations. Maybe we'll have, so King Kai's planet for training stuff. We'll have Earth as the main hub. Namek maybe in a limited capacity. And I don't know where else. I mean, obviously, if we're getting Boo stuff, we're going to be going on the King Kai's planet. So we could be seeing a potential couple planets, and maybe some are more exploratory, maybe some are more linear, right? Like, we don't really explore King Kai's planet in the show. We kind of just go there for the battle, or when Gohan's fucking meditating to use the Z sword. So I feel like for location-wise, Earth's going to be the main hub, and Namek's going to be another pretty major role there. So the way you can... So it's going to be open world, right? And I think the way you can make that intriguing and fun is basically you have like random enemies you can fight around, whether it's like Cybermen or just like dumb soldiers or monsters that roam around. And I think if you fight them, you get XP. And I think the way leveling up in this game should work is pretty obvious, but I'll get into it. I think it should be upgrades for attacks, right? So maybe at first, again, you can only shoot like one ki blast, and then the more you level up, you can upgrade how many ki blasts you shoot. Almost like skill trees, right? Where you have energy, like close term combat, or buffs. So for example, I think the Saiyan chart would kind of be like, you can learn Kaioken, right? When you, in the story, you'll learn Kaioken, and then you can okay, how long can you have Kaioken on for, or Kaioken times 10, or Kaioken times 20, right? And I think that's how you upgrade that tree, right? And then obviously in the story, when you get Super Saiyan unlocked, you can buff how long you can stay in Super Saiyan form in combat. And then Super Saiyan 2, when that gets unlocked in the story, you can upgrade how long you can stay in that form. So I feel like that chart is easily can be done that way. Obviously, fist-to-fist combat, you can shoot stuff like, I don't know, throws and grapples and all that. And then stuff like Kamehameha, where you can upgrade how strong it is, how powerful it is, Spirit Bomb at some point when you get that. So I feel like, obviously, this could have a really cool thing where you're just upgrading a skill tree for Goku and getting all his crazy moves from the show. And yeah, it could be really something special in that department. So in terms of open world exploration, like I said, you're gonna fight enemies around. I think the way they could handle side content, or like what side quests in those games, it can be stuff from the show. So like, let's say filler episodes, right, where, I don't know, like what's a good idea for a filler? Like, let's say the Ginyu Force stuff, right, where that's not really, I mean, it's part of the main story, but it is kind of a filler moment or a side quest. Maybe the side quest is you fight the what's it called, Ginyu Force, instead of going just to the main story for the Frieza stuff, and that becomes almost how you handle side quests, right? You do side stories, and maybe that's how you get to play as the other characters, right? Like, so maybe you do the stuff on Namek where or even before that, right? When you have to fight Vegeta, and Vegeta's on King Kai's planet training. Maybe on Earth you play as Gohan or Krillin while you're fighting Vegeta and Nappa, trying to distract until Goku shows up. And again, I just think even stuff like going through a Snake Trail, like a Snake Way in the sky, maybe that's a scene for Goku where you're running to Snake Way, you're fighting enemies along it. That's kind of a side mission or something. I don't know, like, I feel like you can take a lot of the side stories and side characters from Dragon Ball and make side missions. They could also do stuff like, hey Goku, I'm missing this thing, can you go grab this for me, right? Or, and then you fight enemies and stuff. So there's a million things they could do for that, but I do think it would be smart to tie in filler content from the show as side stories to not like fuck up the main story, right? So I think that could be awesome, and that's another way of getting XP, right? Because it is an action RPG. Again, the way I see the combat is you see a bunch of enemies, it goes into sort of an arena style, and you're fighting, you're jumping around, you're doing your crazy attacks. Boss battles have like health bars and everything. Like, just thinking about all this gets me excited. And again, this could be, I'm not saying there's a world where this could be horrible. Like, I think no matter what, they're putting a lot of love and care into this project, right? They're touting it as the next big thing, right? Like, that video starts with like, we had Xenoverse, successful. We had Fighters, successful. And now this is the next big thing, right? And I think they want this to be almost the third pillar, right? They want Xenoverse to be the MMO, Fighters to be the fighting game, and this to be like the next big thing for Dragon Ball. So I think if they keep it focused, keep it to Goku's story, have a lot of unique RPG elements, have exploration be a blast, make it fun for me to fly around Earth. I want to explore what's it called, Capsule Corp. I want to explore the canyon. I want to explore all these cool places from Dragon Ball that we've seen a million times, but not in a way where we've really gotten to explore them. So yeah, I mean, these are my thoughts. These are just a few of the things I want in the game, but let me know what you guys think. What do you guys want to see from this game? What do you think we will see from this game? Because I think this could be a fucking special game if they really nail it. With if the trailer we saw for this game is really what the game is like, where we're going through emotional moments from the scene. Like, I love the scene in the trailer where Goku's just talking to Gohan, like Father the Sun, or he's doing the Piccolo fight, or he's doing the fight against Vegeta. It's like, it all looks so intense and incredible. And even seeing Krillin die and seeing Goku's expressions, like, they could really nail this and make it something special and make this a special series. I still don't even know what the game is going to be called. I hope it's something cool. It'll probably be Dragon Ball Z Goku's Fuck. Maybe it's Goku's Fuck. But yeah, anyways, these are my thoughts. Let me know yours. I'm so hyped. I'll cover anything that comes along for this game. I think next time we're going to be seeing it is at E3 probably, because Dragon Ball typically has a big E3 presence, and I really do hope we see it on the show floor sometime. So that's all I got. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.